Well guys, it's been a little while since we've talked any Young Justice, and I thought it would be a great time to do a new newsletter. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the latest from Greg Wisman, what's going on with the cast, and why the convention circuit might be the best place to get caught up on the show. Now before we do that though, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and ring that bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the superhero news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently, so you are in the know. Well guys, I have to apologize. It's been a little while since we've done a Young Justice newsletter, but there is a good reason. There really hasn't been a lot of news, and I feel, as a creator, we shouldn't just be bringing you videos just to fill the slot when there's not a whole lot to say. Now, there has been some stuff going on with the show and with the creators, so we'll take a couple minutes to talk about what's going on with Greg Wisman, some of the cast, and one place you can actually get a little bit of interaction, and that would be on the convention circuit. Now, as many of you know, a couple of months ago, Greg Wisman's account got hacked, and that pushed him off several social media platforms. It was a pretty sad time for fans because it basically cut off our only source of news. Now, since then, Greg has returned with a passion, and you see him posting nearly every day. Now, a lot of his posts are surrounding some of his newer projects, like those Gargoyles comics or Amazing Spider-Man, both of which you should check out. But he has kept up his character countdown for Young Justice, kind of making it pretty clear it's still at the forefront of his mind. Now, one of the cool things about these character countdowns is how it sort of highlights some of the characters in the show and allows us to speculate a little bit about potential future storylines. Recently, he's dropped some very interesting names. He actually expanded the Grayson family by specifically dropping John and Mary Grayson, Dick's parents. And if you follow this newsletter, you know in that first episode we talked about Rick Grayson, his uncle, so it appears he has fully fleshed out the whole Flying Grayson family. He also added Razor, which was a real special addition for Season 4, and a character many people would love to see come back in Season 5. He also added Zeus and Hercules, kind of expanding the mythos around Wonder Woman and the Greek gods, something we haven't really seen a lot of in the show, and a path I definitely would want to travel down in a potential future season. Now, the one I found most interesting in the last couple of weeks was this sort of expansion of Magon's family. As you know, the residents of Mars, well, their structures are a bit different than Earth, and I had no idea the families were so big. Recently, he revealed that Magon actually has 11 sisters and 16 brothers. And these are all unnamed, not the ones we've already met. Now, we've gotten to know a couple of them, but I had no idea there were so many, and this to me definitely feels like a seed for a future season. Now, sadly, Greg didn't drop anything specific to Season 5, but I do believe he has to play his cards pretty close to the chest, mostly due to contractual obligations, but I think he wants to avoid basically sabotaging any potential resurgence of the show. Now, Nolan North, the actor who plays Superboy, well, he did have a good bit to say a few weeks ago, and we talked about this in a previous newsletter. He's been recently making the con circuit, and he's made it clear over and over again, the show is not canceled. He actually said, well, we have Warner Brothers people on Zoom right now. I'm telling you guys, we could do this. We can make another season. I don't know. I'm not privy to that. I know it's a hit. I know fans want it desperately. I don't know. I wish I did. We were so fortunate to get the first 2 seasons and 3 and 4. As you know, you saw Season 4, Superboy had a big storyline in that, and it was so much fun. I love Greg Wisman and Brandon Vietti. We just have so much fun. There's so much passion about their stories, so fingers crossed we can get something done. Maybe in the future. I don't think there are plans right now, but we've always said we're not canceled. We just haven't been picked up yet. Now, if you remember correctly, we talked a few weeks ago about some rumors surrounding Nolan North and Kari Payton that seemed to indicate some of the voice actors, these two included, were kind of shopping around the possibilities of picking up an animation house in Atlanta and basically having some of the cast members fund a 5th season. The show itself is rather inexpensive to produce, well, comparatively, and the amount of views it got on HBO Max, well, it would probably be quite a bargain and something they could hopefully sell. I don't think fans really care how a 5th season gets made, as long as it does, and hopefully North is finding some support from this path, because as of right now, James Gunn has given no specifics about the show in the future, and it's pretty clear he has creative control over everything, and ultimately, the buck stops there. Now, there is one place you can get a little bit of a Young Justice fix, and that is on the ComicCon circuit. Now, Greg Wisman occasionally makes appearances at various cons, but one person who makes a ton of cons is Christopher Jones. Now, Christopher Jones worked on a lot of the comics, and he's one of the storyboard artists for the show, and is one of the most outspoken supporters of the project, short of Greg Wisman and a few cast members. Now, he recently was at Emerald City ComicCon, and if you don't know his art, he has some great Young Justice art that can be added to your collection, and it is an interesting way to show some support for the show, all while making sure nobody forgets. Honestly, these type of sales, art, and then comics and DVDs are the best way to support the show and show Warner Brothers Discovery what's going on. We're going to try to follow the convention circuit really closely for you guys. Once we have some appearances from Greg in the upcoming year, we're going to make sure we let you know. It is a great place to let Warner Brothers Animation, Wisman, Jones, and everybody else associated with the project, well, make them feel the love. This is what will keep the energy behind the show and hopefully gets us that 5th season we're still waiting on. Now, like I said, ultimately I think this comes down to James Gunn. I want to encourage everybody to keep those Renew Young Justice hashtags rolling forward, tag the right people, be respectful, be positive, and I really do believe the chances for the show to return are still very high. The show is a huge success. Comparatively, it is pretty inexpensive to produce, and the passion from the fans, well, it still exists. Now, if we get any specific news, we'll drop a single video letting you guys know. I'm going to try to keep doing these newsletters at least once a month, but I don't want to take advantage of the fans just posting anything to get a click. The show is important to me, just like it's important to you, and I definitely don't want to take advantage of the love we all share. Make sure you check out the comments down below, the links to the comic that will help bring the show back, and any support you can throw our channel, we really appreciate it. Peace.